eBay. Yep, that's right. We are going to be taking a look at some hilarious and just awful eBay listings. We'll just have to see how bad they really are. And of course, not everyone likes eBay. And now, some angry Dank Pods clips. Contestant number one. Wait for it. He got the slash and dash. No, not the nugget. This one's the biggest crime of all. I don't even have a response for this. So, unfortunately, all his boxes got the slash and dash, and that's because he was using the kangaroo dollar dues and not the bald head coin man. Very unfortunate, but it does provide some educational value on how not to use their international shipping. Of course, if you're in the land of these, or somewhere nearby where you don't have to really do customs like that, then you will have a higher likelihood of not getting a destroyed box. So we have an 11 Pro Max, 256 gigs, with Fortnite installed, flawless condition, and for some reason they spelled out 11. And we have some photos of Fortnite installed, and for the grand price of 15 grand, this could be yours. Now, this is obviously a horrible listing because who would pay that much for a year-old flagship? And the app itself, it's not linked to the phone, it's linked to the account that is used. Of course, this is the purchase tab, and they even show that. This is on their device, it's not like it automatically transfers over to yours. So if you update and you lose the app, you pretty much paid this much for an 11 Pro Max. So for this next listing, it literally just says, good phone. Nothing else. That's literally the description. So here's the listing for the good phone. It says it's an iPhone 6, 16 gigs, and a space gray model. And the eBay information lists it as an iPhone 6. That could also just be something automatic due to the title. But the photo shows a potentially different story. If we take a look at it, the screen appears to potentially be aftermarket because this does seem a bit strange based on how it reflected with the light. That could just be something to do with the lighting, the way that the photo was taken, but this does seem a bit suspicious. And at the same time, the body of the phone is much darker than an actual iPhone 6. Now the space gray on the iPhone 6 is much lighter. And even in this darker lighting, it still appears much lighter than what this appears as. So you could potentially get a newer phone at the expense of $3 grand. Now this is, I don't even know where this number could have come from. It could potentially be $300, and even then for an iPhone 6, that's way overpriced. But $3 grand with that description, it's definitely going to sell. So here's the next item: second gen iPad Pro, 12.9 inch, 256 gigs, and at the same time, it offers you a curved monitor-like feeling. As you can see, we have a nice little bend almost in the center right there, and somehow the display still works. And we even have a picture of the bend. That's a pretty big bend. I'm surprised how the display didn't take any damage. But you can have all this for $4 grand. And the shipping isn't free, which makes the whole deal basically not worth it. If Apple was able to sell these at $4 grand a piece, they'd be making way more than they are now. And for some reason, they just decided to add a blank picture. Oh, but don't worry, you can get a charger. I mean, what's not to like about this? It's a great deal. It could also just be a typo, like the iPhone 6, but it's pretty hilarious. 1 viewed per hour. It's gonna go fast. 20 watchers. I don't know what's more hilarious, the price or the fact that there's 20 watchers for this. Who knows, maybe they made an offer for something more reasonable. Now this is more of a general overview of a lot of listings on here, and hopefully you guys already know this, but if you see any sort of device with any sort of app that's rare or something, these are complete scams. Now, the device itself could be perfectly fine, but at the same time, these apps, if they're not on the App Store, and it's not linked to your account, then you technically don't have it. Sure, you could download it if you have a jailbroken device or something, you install the APK yourself, or you just buy one of these, then yes, you technically do have them. But it's not linked to your device account, the main Apple ID that you use, if you never downloaded it. It's not like the app itself magically transfers over. Now, I understand if it's an older device and it has some apps that are long gone, could be from the iOS 6 days and below. Now, those devices, I can see why some people would buy those, because they would extract the APK files, save them, and then potentially upload them somewhere so that way they're archived. But these, where they have things like Fortnite, it just makes no sense. Because if you lose the app, you're not going to get it again unless you actually downloaded it. There's no point for this. And if you're paying this much, you're better off just building a really good computer or just play the game on a console. They're hilarious to see, but at the same time, they're also kind of scary. So let's say you're just looking for an iBook, or maybe you want to get a clamshell, and then you're just looking, and all of a sudden, you find this. What is this? We have to examine it further because this is kind of unbelievable. So they're wanting this much, $760 roughly. It used to be $900. You can save 15%. For an iBook clamshell G3, special touchscreen plus rare case equals unique plus bundle. So that title is trying to get a wider audience with terms like touchscreen or unique. And it hasn't sold yet. It's already been discounted. And it's still here. Now if we take a look at this poor iBook, seems to be a tangerine or something. They've taken out the display and probably everything else that makes it the actual iBook. They painted the display bezel or something, maybe stickers, with a yellow and blue border. And this is the best part. You're paying that much money for an iPad 2 or 3 because of the 30-pin connector. So they've just taken this old iPad, crammed it in the display, but if you're going to actually use this, it's already not that supported, the iPad 2 or iPad 3. Sure, you could jailbreak and use it as a legacy device. I'm not saying that you can't. But if you're actually going to use this as a daily driver, why an iPad 2 or an iPad 3? They only run up to iOS 9, and it's not like that's going to get a lot of support anytime soon. And after that, of course, you can't use the normal keyboard that came with the iBook, so they have to use this wireless one. This could be a newer one. It's based on the thinner design, but still, they've just put it in the iBook, and you probably can't even use the trackpad unless it's some sort of third-party trackpad or something. It comes with a charger, and it even comes with the iPad paperwork and probably the box. These other photos show it closed, and of course, they're not trying to hide that it's a G3 with a touchpad. You can clearly see the iPad box. The deal doesn't end there, though. The keyboard is actually just a knockoff. It looks like a Apple one, but it's just some weird wireless Bluetooth keyboard, no-name brand. And the older Apple keyboards do use AA batteries, but at that point, why don't you just include one of those? And I didn't even realize it until now, but it's a Tangerine iBook, and it has the blue trackpad button as well as the battery holder. But at this point, what's the battery holder even good for? If the iPad itself has its own battery, I guess you could just store the cables. But at the same time, why would you do this on iBook? If you're going to do something like this, they would probably do it themselves. If the iBook doesn't work at all, and they want to use the actual shell for it, then I can see if you actually want to use this. But I don't know if there's that big of a market to make these and then sell them. It certainly is an interesting thing, but I just don't know how many people would actually be actively looking out for this. At this point, you might as well just sell the iBook as a parts unit. Even if the motherboard doesn't work or something, people would still buy it. Well, I buy broken iPhones and whatnot. There's always going to be someone that would need a parts device, and the case alone would probably be worth quite a lot of money, because if the case is in good condition, someone can actually use that. Now, this isn't the only type of listing. Here's another one. This one is actually still the main iBook. It's not been converted to a weird iPad holder. But this one is actually running macOS. It seems to have been upgraded with some SSD storage. It says that it had 16 gigabytes. It's probably just an SD card at that point. But it seems like this one is still more of a normal iBook. It hasn't really been all that customized. I don't know why they would title it as rare though. Probably something to attract the attention of new time buyers or something. The key lime color itself is pretty nice, but with the polka dots it just seems a bit off. They do include a actual yo-yo adapter, but then they also have these interesting accessories, a Wi-Fi Nano USB adapter, as well as this weird USB 2.0 hub, and they even have this strange Apple logo with the leaf facing the other way. They do give you some stickers, an airport card, and some RAM, and it's a compact flash card, but it just seems a really strange combination. I mean, the accessories themselves, it's not all that strange, but the customization of the polka dots, that seems like something you could do with your own if you really wanted to customize it. I don't know how large of a consumer base there is for something like this. And even taking a look at this, they include a keyboard cover, and the keyboard cover itself doesn't even fit the keyboard because it's designed for a completely different model. If you take a look at it, those keys are not going to fit on the keyboard cover. It could still kind of work, but not really, because the keys are not individual like on newer MacBooks. And it's also kind of like the keyboard on this PowerBook. They're all pretty much next to each other. It's not like it's going to work all that well. The last item we have for today is this iPod, spelled incorrectly, 30 gigabyte model with 2,000 songs and 29 videos. Now, based on this title and those pictures, how much do you think this is worth? If we take a close look at the amazing condition that this iPod is in, it'll buff right out. And just to make the offer even that more enticing, it not only has a lot of scratches, but it even comes with some engraving, obviously making this iPod one of a kind. And look at the crisp, mint condition 30-pin cable. Very nice. And probably the best part about this iPod, the selling feature, the reason why you want to get this, is that high quality, perfect mint condition display. All of this can be yours for just $5,000. Now, this is probably the best eBay listing I've seen so far. Nothing can top this one, at least for now. Of course, we have the amazing title. We have this iPod, which is in just horrible condition, and the price tag. You could get sealed ones, brand new, for much less than this. So what do you guys think about this? You want me to make more of these hilarious eBay listings? If you do, then let me know, and we could probably also set up a designated channel in the Discord server where you guys can send me these links and I'll take a look at them. That said, if you guys enjoyed the video, then please subscribe, as it does help the channel out. And if you guys want to see more, then stick around, watch some other videos, and stay tuned for the next one. And thanks for watching.